Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Thriving Thursdays. We are about to get started as we embark on our last Thursday of 2018. So let me finish getting set up while we have more to join. I hope everyone had a happy holiday with their family and friends. As you can see, I am wearing a new shirt, a different shirt today, as I normally wear my my Journey to Greatness shirts. But today I decided that it is the last Thursday in 2018, and I am going to wear my Thrive, because we are going to talk about Thrive today. Today, the topic is reflections, and in reflections, it also surrounds the word Thrive, or my acronym for Journey to Greatness. And so I'm excited that today is the last Thursday of 2018. I cannot believe that we are already at the end of the year. It just seemed like the year started. This year went by super fast, and so many wonderful things happened this year. For me, and hopefully for you as well. There was a lot of wins, and there was a lot of lessons as well. And so we are going to get started. Let me make sure that we are all set up, and this doesn't look like it is set up. So as we wait for a few more minutes, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my other platform is working correctly. It does not seem like it is. So I'm going to go and redo this and make sure, let's reset this again, and make sure that I am good to go while we have a few more minutes. Let's go back and let's try to start this over again and make sure that I am good to go. Is it clicking? Let's start this. Hello, welcome to Thriving Thursdays. Okay, why isn't this working? Let's give it a second. Maybe I clicked it too many times as I'm trying to get everything set up. Let's see. Okay, let's go back and click on. Can I click here? Yes, I can click here. So let's see if I can click here. Show. Why isn't it letting me click here? So maybe it is not going to work on this one today. And I'm just going to have to do my Facebook Live. I think that's what I'm going to have to do, because my other platform is a little stuck. Maybe stop. And let's start all over again. Okay, let's go back over here and start all over again and see if that works. So, yes, I think that was the issue. So how was everybody's holiday? How was your holiday? Yes, let's save these changes. Okay. I think we are good to go. Let's start this up again. And we are rolling. Hopefully we are rolling. I am seeing what is going on, and it doesn't look like it is working. So I am not going to take any more of your time, because it does not look like that my other platforms is turning on, but it is okay. We are going to get started with this Thriving Thursday, last one for 2018. Yes. What does this mean? We have gone through a whole year. We are about to embark on a new year, 2019. Can you believe it? 2019 will be here next week. And so this is exciting for me because I remember this time last year, and I was kind of questioning where I was, where I wanted to do, what was my purpose. I wasn't feeling fulfilled in life, and so I was going through a process, and I went through the normal, what do I want for 2018? And every year I say, this is my year. This is my year of abundant blessings. This is my year of growth. This is my year. And then at the end of the year, I might see some things, but I haven't seen everything that was on my list. And so this year I said, before I end 2018, I want to reflect on everything that's happened. And so that's why I came up with the topic today of reflecting, because before you can go ahead and start something new, you have to reflect on what you've already been through. The wins, the lessons, and the things that you're still working through at the time. And so I wanted to go back, and I went back and I looked at where I am now and where I was last year at this time. And so it reminded me of when I was driving home from coming home from the holidays, and I kept looking in my rear view mirror. And I saw where I had came from. Well, at one point, I had never got to that point, but now I'm looking back at where I came from. It also reminded me of when I was home visiting family, and so I've moved away, it's been several years since I moved away, and every time I go back, there's something different. And so I sat there and I was driving around, thinking about how it used to be when I lived there and how much has changed now. And when I lived there, I never thought that the things that are going on now or the things that I saw now would ever happen. I was accustomed to the way that they were. And that's some things that we go through in life. We are accustomed to the way that things are. We know where we want to go. We know where we've been, but we're kind of in this in-between stage of where we are, where we've been, and where we want to go. And it also reminded me of many years ago when I started working, and I made a goal for myself. I said, before I retire, I want to reach this level at my job. And at that time, it seemed like an unreachable, hard goal that was going to take a super long time. But I knew before I retired, I was going to get to this point. I was going to do whatever it took to get to this point. And now I'm at that point. The goal that I made several years ago, I've achieved that goal now. And so what looked like a big, almost impossible thing, I didn't know how it was going to happen or when it was going to happen. I just knew by the time I retired, I needed to be here. Well, now I'm here. So now what? So now it's time for me to make a new goal, because I was living in these parameters where I set the goal, the current journey, and where the goal ended, where there was so much more potential here. You see all of this air out here. There was so much more potential there, but my mind could only grasp this part right here. My goal and where I was. And I worked, and before I knew it, I came there. So what does that mean? That means that I go back, just like we're going to do this year, and that's going to be something that you're going to do before the clock strikes and goes to 2019, reflecting on all the things, the goals that you set for this year or the past goals that you've set. You're going to reflect on those things. You're going to reflect on the wins that you've had this year. Jot them down. Make 2 columns, or 3 columns actually. Your wins, your lessons that you've learned, because we don't have losses, we have lessons. So it's something that you were supposed to learn from so you can make it a win the next time. And then the current things that you're in right now. And so I want you to go back and reflect on the time that you made that goal. or the time that that thing happened, the lesson that happened. Going back and reflecting to see where you were at that point and how the progression that you got until then. Even if it was a lesson, you were still further behind where you were. So you grew from the win and you also grew from the lesson. And so this is an example that I can give you, as I was talking about last year, how I wasn't feeling fulfilled. What was it that I needed to do? What would fulfill me? So I took the time to figure it out. I took the time to find out what is it in me that I fulfill, because now I fulfilled a goal that I set for myself, or within this year. Last year I hadn't fulfilled the goal yet. I was still trying to fulfill the goal in my career. Well, I fulfilled it this year. What was it also else that I needed to do? Because there was more than outside of my job that I needed or that I wanted to do. And so I look at myself today as I am sitting here doing live videos, encouraging people, giving nuggets, talking about my journey. If I would have imagined myself a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I never would have imagined that I would be speaking. Never in a million years. This was never on my radar, never a goal that I had, wasn't even on my mind. I knew since I was little, I knew that I wanted to be I said I wanted to be a psychologist. You know, when you're little, your kids are little, you're like, well, what do you want to do, Johnny? What do you want to do, Samantha, when you get older? And they're a teacher, a firefighter, you know, a football player, basketball player, whatever the case might be. As I came up, I wanted to be a psychologist because I wanted to listen to people's problems and I wanted to help them work it out. Well, I went to high school, I went to college and even majored in psychology, and I got about third or fourth year and I said, you know what? Psychology is not really for me. Why was it not for me? Because I didn't want to put in the work. I didn't want to put in the effort to finish, because psychology is a degree that you can't really stop at your bachelor's degree. You have to go to the master's and the PhD, and that really wasn't in my mindset at that time, and so I stopped. But as I reflected throughout this year, I remembered that time when I was little and I set that goal for myself that I wanted to help people. And in finding my fulfillment, I have found that thing. Now, am I a psychologist? No, I am not a psychologist. I am just a person that has gone through a journey in life, and that I want to share my experiences, my knowledge that I have learned along the way that has helped motivate me, that's helped to keep me going despite of anything that happened in my life. I had a dream, like, you know, every little girl, by the time you're 25, you'll be married with 2 kids, the dog, and the white picket fence. I'm probably far off from that goal, but that didn't mean that my life had stopped. And so as I went through this year and I reflected, and I'm like, wow, my life is not where I thought it would be, but it is so much greater than what I could have even imagined. I am outside my comfort zone. I am speaking and helping people to grow. I'm helping people to think outside the box. I'm helping people to get to places that they never got, that they thought they would get to, that they will overcome things that they never thought that they would overcome. And so I look at myself and I smile and I'm like, wow, I was limiting myself to this box. But there was so much more greater that was there that I was supposed to do. And so how do you know how much greater there is for you if you've never reflected on where you've came from? If you never reflected on the lessons that you've learned throughout? See, because this is an example I'll give you. My son plays football. And so I was talking to him about watching film. Did you watch your film from the last game? And he was like, yeah, I watched it. Okay, well, how many times did you watch it? What did you see in the film? See, because if you go back and reflect and study what you did right and what you did wrong, the next time you come along, the next time you go to something else, I'm talking about his game, the next time you go to a game, you no longer will make the mistakes that you made in the past game, because you've reflected and you've gone back and you study the wins, the lessons, everything. You've gone to do that. So when the next time comes around, you do better than what you did before. Will you get to perfection the next time? No, because we always make mistakes, but you are on a better track, because if you don't reflect, then you keep making the same mistakes. And so you wonder, well, why do I keep meeting the same people, the same type of people? Why do I keep finding myself in the same situation? Well, the reason that you're finding yourself in the same situation, or you're finding yourself meeting the same types of people, is because you never took in the time to reflect on the past that you've gone through. What are the wins? What are the losses? Or not the losses, but what are the lessons that you could have learned to help you to get to the next level, to help you to find better relationships, whether it's friends, spouse or significant other, whether it's relationships, at your job, your mentors, any of those things. What was it that you learned that can help you get to the next level? And if you never reflect, you can never do those things. You can never get to the next level and pass the next test, because you haven't gone back and looked at the things that you've gone through. You haven't reflected on those things. And so as we're going into 2019, you want to reflect on what's happened in 2018 and the previous years, because one thing that we don't want to do is carry the luggage, carry the baggage, carry the weight into 2019 and have the same tests, have the same struggles, have the same baggage that we've had and carrying it around. So you're going to carry the same thing into a new year expecting a different result. You can't expect a different result and you have the same things weighing you down. That's things, that's friends, that's habits, whatever it is. These are the things that you're reflecting on. What are you spending a lot of your time doing? What's the majority of your time doing? Your free time. Who are the people that you're hanging around? Who are your 5 people that you talk to the most? If they're not pushing you down your journey to greatness, to get better, towards your goals, they're pulling you away from it. Because if they're standing still, you're standing still, and so your journey is becoming, or your goal has become further and further away because you're not moving. And so these are the things that you want to do when you are reflecting. What do I need to leave in 2018? What are the lessons that I can take with me in 2019? What are the wins that I need that will help me get the next win? See, because if you're watching football, I'm a sports fan. I like football. I like basketball. I will talk about sports. So if you're watching a game and it's a team that is the underdog, they're the underdog for the season, and they win their first game, what happens? They're going back to the drawing board trying to figure out how did they win that game so they can win the next game. That win built the confidence that they know that they needed to win the next game or to go into the next game. When you have a confidence about yourself, when you have a confidence about your goals, when you have a confidence in knowing that there is greater, there's a different walk. There's a different swag that comes along when you're going down your journey. You have a confidence, and so you demand respect. You demand order, or with everything that is around you. And so you start losing those loose weights, those heavy weights that are on you, the things that are weighing you down from getting you to the next thing, getting you to the next level. Why? Because you're focused. You've reflected. These are the mistakes that I've made. I made mistakes and I've learned from them. I'm not going to continue to go through the same thing over and over again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these lessons that I've learned and I'm going to apply this to the next thing, and not just apply it to the next thing. I'm going to take the lessons that I learned and help somebody else. I'm going to tell them about my journey. I'm going to tell them about my failures. I'm going to tell them, and I say failures because we do fail sometimes, but we learn from it. It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get back up and you keep going. And so many times people always tell you the good things. They tell you, oh, I've arrived. I have this perfect relationship. I'm winning. But they never talk about the lessons that they learned. And so it reminded me about, I took my son goes to training, DB training on Saturdays. And so he was at DB training this past Saturday, and they brought all the alumni back. All the alumni that could make it that day. It was alumni day. So they were celebrating all the players that were playing in high school. I mean, not in high school, that have graduated from high school and they're playing in college. You know, the kids, there were some kids that were, you know, working on their master's degrees. There were some kids that, you know, are in a career now. But they said, state your name, the school that you go to, and talk about your journey. Talk about how you got to where you are right now. And many times you don't hear that. You just hear that people have arrived. And I was so blessed and touched to hear everybody's journey. Nobody had the same story. Everybody had a different story, but they all said one thing: we are family here. It was here that I built a bond. It was here when I wanted to quit, or when things weren't going my way, or when things weren't going the way that I thought that they should, that I could come back to this base, this family, and keep going. I could call and say, this is what's going on, and there was always somebody there to talk to me. That's surrounding yourself around 5 people. Well, I'll just say 5. But that's surrounding yourself around people that can help push you towards your goal. But it touched my heart so much to hear everybody's story. Not, oh, I'm playing at this school, or I'm doing this with my life, but this is what happened along the way. And I'm here if you want any assistance, if you want any help, if you have any questions, I'm here to give back. And so those are the things, these are the reasons why you go through things. You go through them to learn, to help you at the next level, but to also to tell your story to somebody else. So don't be afraid as you go back and you reflect on 2018 to start sharing your story, because believe it or not, most of your friends, family, co-workers, strangers, I mean, Facebook is a good platform, and all these other social medias and stuff that we have, and we all live the happy face. Everything is peachy, creamy for me, and it always isn't like that. It's not the peachy, creamy that's going to minister to somebody. It's what you have went through and that you have overcome that's going to minister to somebody. It's what you went through that and overcome that's going to help you get to the next level. Because hindsight is always 20/20. When I said I looked in the rearview mirror as I was driving home, and I saw where I had came from, but I was still looking forward as to where I was going. And it was at a point that I hadn't reached where I had came from, or that I had just passed. That was once in my front vision of where I was trying to go. And so as you're reflecting on 2018, this is so important if you want to have a productive, a winning 2019. If you don't want to have the baggage that you've been carrying and experience the same things, the same tests, the same weight on your shoulders, you have to reflect from 2018. And so I said, today that reflection encompasses all of what Thrive stands for. Thrive is just not a word. We're just not saying, oh, we're just going to thrive. No, Thrive actually stands for something. And so I want you to, if you miss it this time, I'm going to go over it. Go back and listen to it again. Read over it daily. Thrive stands for trust the process, because it's not always going to go the way that we want it to go. Things are always going to line up the way that we want it to line up. But if we have a vision of where we want to go, we have a goal that we have set, then you trust the process to get there. You highlight the wins. I am highlighting this win today. This is like my 10th, I believe we're on 10 or 11 Thriving Thursdays. I remember when I first started, I was like, my voice was really shaky and I was so nervous. I was like, this is a lot. I mean, I had to go sit down afterward and be like, oh, I did it. But now I'm like, I'm on 10. Can you believe this? So that's a win for me. And so next year I'm going to push myself to do 2 a week. So one is going to be Thriving Thursdays. Another one might be, spontaneous. It won't be a certain time. So you'll always be able to come back and listen to it. It might be Wednesdays. I might do Wonder Wednesdays, and it won't be Wonder Woman Wednesdays, because sometimes I'm going to want to interview the men and do live interviews. So I'll bring somebody else in and we'll chat back and forth and talk about our journeys. So the small wins, this is a win for me. And another win is me saying I'm going to do 2 a week. I am growing. We are growing together in this journey. So we did trust the process, highlight all wins, receive guidance. Receive guidance is the mentors that you have around you. So I remember when I was like, okay, I'm going to do this motivational speaking thing. Life coach, yes, I am on it. Motivational speaking years from now. So I went to different people and asked. I gained mentors, and it's like, I can help you. In a couple of months, you can go and have your first speaking event. Wait a minute. That's not what was on my plan. But even though it wasn't on my plan, that doesn't mean that wasn't meant for me to do. So even now, I'm like, okay, I did my first speaking event. Now I have 3 to 5 years to get myself ready to be where I want to be. I told another mentor that they said, no, you don't have 3 to 5 years. I need you to be ready in 3 to 5 months. That's like a lot of years cut down. 3 to 5 months. They believe in me so much. They're like, I need you ready in 3 to 5 months, because I'm ready to put you in front of people. But these are the type of mentors that you want to have around you. You don't want mentors that are, oh yes, Susie, you're going to get there one day. No, Susie, you want somebody, Susie, to be pushing you, not one day, today. Give me a timeline. If you're not going to do it today, 6 months, can you get it back to me in 6 months, a year? Who is pushing you to get the things done that you say that you want to do? Who's pushing you outside your comfort zone, outside the limits that you put for yourself? Because there is a whole galaxy and world out there for you to conquer. And you're limiting yourself right here. And so who is there to expand your territories, to expand your mind, to push you to get to where you want to be? And so investing in yourself is the next thing. Trust the process. Highlight all wins. Receive guidance. Invest in yourself. Take that time. If it's 5-10 minutes, have you ever just, those that have kids, pulled up to your house? You're getting off of work and you pull up to your house and you sit there for 5, 10, 20 hours and the kids looking out the window, Mommy, when are you coming in? Daddy, where are you? And you just needed that minute, that quiet, whatever it is, to just relax. Nothing around you, and you just need it. That's part of investing in yourself. Taking the time that you need, the motivators that you need to keep you going. taking yourself to dinner, reading books, listening to Thriving Thursdays every week. So you can listen to these every day, actually, because they're recorded. So you can, keep rewinding them and get the nuggets over and over again, finding different people that you can listen to, take the walks on the beach, just investing in you. Because if you're always pouring out to your kids, your family, your job, your church, the sports and all of these other things, eventually your well is going to go dry. It's like when you get your paycheck and you put the money in, and then you got to pay bills, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and you got to do that. And if you never put any more money back in, what happens? There's nothing else to give out. So you are your bank. And you need to make sure that you're putting into yourself so you can, one, get to the next level. So, two, you can get to where you want to be, but also be equipped. You're nourishing yourself just like you eat food to nourish your body. You need to nourish your mind. You need to nourish your spirit. You need to nourish your heart. You need to nourish everything that is within you. It needs to be nourished. And so that's investing in yourself. Vacate the negativity. That's the talk in your mind. That's the talk of people around you. That's some of the things that you may watch. Say, these are the things you want to vacate. These are the bags that you're carrying along, the weights. And we're not taking the weights. We're not taking the negativity. We're not taking the can'ts and won'ts and don'ts and shoulda and coulda and woulda and all of these things into 2019. What we are going to do is take the positive thinking, how I'm going to be better in 2019, how I'm going to make 2019 my best year yet. And so the last and Thrive stands for evaluate your goals. So monthly, you should be evaluating these things. So usually in the new year, we all make resolutions or, set goals for the year. We have vision boards, and that might be my first Thriving Thursday for 2019, talking about vision and vision boards and writing down your goals and things. But we have all of these things. But how many times do we go back and evaluate them? Usually about November, when we say, oh, I said that I was going to do this year. I said I wanted to be here this year, but you never evaluated. You never went back, so you never took the step to get you to where you want to be. And so that is my Thriving Thursday. That is my reflection. If you would like to send me your reflections, if you would like to discuss them, feel free to send them to me. I am open to listen to you, to help you to sort things out, to help you to see, okay, what can I do in 2019 better than what I did in 2018? I am so excited. I am so happy for everybody that has joined me. Hey, Nicole, Melissa, Anthony, Lynette, Sister girl, thank you for joining me. I am so thankful for my faithful listeners that come and they listen, they like, they share. I am thankful because without you, I could not get this word out, these nuggets out, these encouragements out to people that I would never meet, that might need just one thing that I said. And so I thank you. I thank you for being here with me. I am about to log off because guess what? It's not NFL Thursday anymore, but it is. I am over my time, and I went over my time today because it is the last Thursday of 2018, and I have enjoyed your company. I have enjoyed your comments, your shares for 2018. I am excited about all that 2019 is going to bring you. I'm excited about all the people, the places, the things that are weights on your shoulder that you are going to leave in 2018, and you are going to 2019 rocking as a roaring lion, roar, because that's what we are. We are lions. We are going to thrive. We are going to make 2019 our best year yet. So remember, you are not here to just survive. You are here to thrive in every area of your life, and if you're not where you want to be, you should be on your way to get to where you want to be. With that, I am Journey to Greatness. Enjoy these last few days that you have in 2018. I will see you in 2019. Like, share. See you next year.